Mariners win 10-3. They improved to 68-55 on the season. They have won the first two games of the series against the Houston Astros. They are still your number 3 wild card team. Let's talk about how it happens. You know what? Let's just talk about how it happens. Suarez singles home Julio Rodriguez, who we will talk a lot about again, makes it 1-0. Cade Marlowe triples home Jose Caballero 2-0. Teoscar Hernandez doubles home Ty France, ends up scoring on a air and kind of a scary play. I'm glad that Myers is okay. 3-0. Cal Raleigh singles home Hernandez 4-0. Bregman does homer in the third to make it 4-1. Diaz homers in the fourth to make it 4-2, but it's all Mariners from that point on. Dylan Moore hits the first of his 2 home runs. There's a spoiler alert with Ty France on that makes it 6-2. Hernandez doubles home 2, 8-2. Julio Rodriguez, by the way, one of those runs who scores. Dylan Moore crushes a home run, 9-2. Sam Haggerty homers, 10-2. Mauricio Dubon does get a homer in the ninth off of a person I didn't know was on the roster, Eduard Bazardo, to make it 10-3. Before we get into even a smidgen of a negative, let's thank the good folks of Simply Seattle for sponsoring this episode, folks. They're the best. They are the Seattle Mariners of they're good. They're just really good. I had a really interesting thing to say, but no, I don't. Simply Seattle gives you the best gear for the Seahawks, the Mariners, the Supersonics, the Huskies, the Rainiers, everybody. Everybody you could think of Seattle sports-wise, they have got it. And if you use code MOLLYWOP15, you can save 15% off your order. And folks, anything you're looking for, hats, shirts, jackets, anything, any type of clothing. Why are those the only 3 I can think of? I don't know. But those are the 3 that you could definitely get and a whole heck of a lot more. Use code MOLLYWOP15 to save 15% off your order. Simply Seattle is the best, and we thank them so much for sponsoring this episode. I don't know if you can tell, I'm jacked. I'm flipping jacked to the you-know-what right now. Holy crap, did they play well today. This was amazing. This is what we've been waiting for. I know they've won a bunch of games in a row. I know all of that. This is the complete Seattle Mariners we were looking for. And if there's one negative, it's that Logan Gilbert was not great today. And that negative is a positive because Logan Gilbert didn't have anywhere close to his best stuff today, and he was still able to give you 6 innings of 2-run baseball. Fortunate to get there? Yes. Gave up a couple home runs, gave up a couple of long fly balls, needed some double plays to get out of innings, allowed 8 hits, issued the walk, and only struck out 3. This was far from Logan Gilbert, but to say he battled is an understatement. And he battled, and got you those 6 innings, and you needed it. Unbelievable for him to get through those 6 innings when he had nowhere close to his best stuff, and most importantly, nowhere close to his best command. He fell behind, it seemed like, every gosh dang hitter. And even when he was ahead, he just couldn't finish hitters off. That's a positive. It's a negative that he didn't look great. He did not pass the eye test whatsoever tonight. Doesn't matter. Got the job done. There have been starts when Gilbert does not have it that can have gone real bad, real quick. But he was able to get it done. I want to give credit to the defense as well. And let's just jump into the positives. We've ended with Julio pretty much the last whatever shows. Let's just start with it. This dude just set a record for most hits over 4 games. 17 hits in his last 4 games. 4 for 6 tonight. Scores 2 runs. Steals a base. Should have had another one. I actually thought, for those who missed it, also had another stolen base that got taken away because Ty France got called for interference. Absolutely the right call there. Martin Maldonado could not have made the throw. An absolute star effort again. Thank you, Julio. Thank you for being a Seattle Mariner. Thank you for wanting to be a Seattle Mariner. Maybe you just don't know better. But, oh my goodness gracious. 4 games and 17 hits. Folks, that's more hits than the New York Yankees have over the last 4 games, which is darning with faint praise because the Yankees offense just stinks out loud. But that's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. But it wasn't just Julio tonight. And we're going to give Julio a ton of praise because he deserves the heck out of it. But there's a lot of guys who deserve their flowers tonight. Ty France does hit into the double play. As somebody pointed out, hey, he hit it hard. And then he had two more big hits and scores a couple of runs. Teoscar Hernandez is feeling it. He's feeling it, folks. 3 for 5 with a couple of RBIs, scores a run. He's been great in August. He's been a massive part of why this team has been so good lately. Sam Haggerty, who, look, I am not a Sam Haggerty fan as a player. I love him as a person. Homeboy has a dog named Manicotti. How can you not love that? How can you not love that? I just don't think he's a great Major League Baseball player. I want him as my 26th man at most. But a great job tonight. Draws a couple hits, hits that home run, which meant absolutely nothing, but good for him. Scores the 2 runs. Jose Caballero, I guess we should talk about all the stuff that happened too after I can calm down a little bit. But Dylan Moore, I cannot even begin to describe how big Dylan Moore was tonight. That home run, so for those, you listen to the recap, but just in case you skip forward for some reason, Dylan Moore, so the score is 4-2. They take a 4-0 lead, and then the Astros get one on a solo homer. They get another on a solo homer. It's 4-2. If you're not feeling particularly great, at least I wasn't, because Gilbert did not look like he had the great stuff. You have to score more runs, and then Dylan Moore goes oppo-boppo. Folks, it's worth pointing out they did this today against Framber Valdez, one of the best left-handed pitchers, one of the best pitchers, period, in baseball today. They shellacked him. 5 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs. Yeah, he gets 5 strikeouts, but you got 12 dudes on base today against Framber Valdez, and you looked good doing it. That was not fluky contact. That was not dinking and dunking. You crushed him today. You had one of your best, if not the best, offensive efforts on the year. I know they've scored more runs, but in terms of how they looked, I have not seen the Seattle Mariners look this good this year. That was their best offensive game, I think. And you did it against Framber, gosh dang, Valdez. Incredible. Incredible job tonight by the offense against a great pitcher. But to get that homer and to go up 6-2, it was huge. It gives you those insurance runs, and it makes you feel so much more confident. And it's, a lot of times where I say makes us feel confident, I'm really just talking about me. I think we're talking about the Seattle Mariners now. To get back that 4-run lead, I think was massive. So let's talk about what happens too. After Moore hits that homer, Valdez clearly hits Caballero on purpose. There's no doubt in my mind. Absolutely was trying to hit him. And Caballero gets upset, and we get a little bit of a skirmish. It is very clear these two teams respect each other, but don't necessarily like each other a whole heck of a lot. And maybe they do. Maybe they but you can tell there's some head stuff going on. Dusty Baker, the manager of the Astros, if you're somehow not familiar, loves to play these type of head games. And I think there were some head games today. And I saw a couple of people get upset with Julio Rodriguez for what he did after he got hit. If you only saw what was happening, I could understand why you'd be upset a little bit, but not really. So Caballero gets hit. There's a skirmish. And all of a sudden you see Julio basically bear hugging Framber Valdez and carrying him back to the mound. Now, what that looks like is that Julio Rodriguez cares more about Framber Valdez, who, look, they're friends. They're from the same country. There's no doubt. I think they're from the same country. If that is incorrect, I apologize profusely, but I do know that they have a close relationship. If Framber Valdez, what it looks like is Julio is just trying to keep Framber Valdez. He cares more about Framber than he does his teammate, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Because what was happening there is Julio Rodriguez is calming Framber Valdez down and keeping this from being a Donnybrook, from keeping this from being a bunch of dudes getting suspended, a bunch of dudes maybe getting hurt. It was a fantastic thing Julio did. because it calmed him down. It stopped the whole shenanigan stuff. Nobody else gets hit, as far as I remember. That's huge. The Mariners cannot afford suspensions, folks. And Julio Rodriguez also doesn't want other people getting hurt. He's a good dude. And yeah, I don't like that Framber Valdez hit Jose Caballero on purpose. I hate it. It's so archaic to throw at players. It's 2023, folks. Get used to it. Pitch better. That's a really good way to avoid hitting people, or to not get upset by home runs is what I mean. Pitch better. You didn't pitch well enough today, Framber. Don't take that out on Caballero. But I love that Julio was there to say, let's knock this stuff off. And you saw that Julio was not in a great mood with the way he was talking to Martin Maldonado and the way he was talking to some other folks. This was not a case of Julio not caring about the Seattle Mariners, folks. Come on. And I know most people get that. This is not me arguing against myself, though. I did see some tweets that were not great. Don't look at Twitter. That's my number one suggestion. What a huge win. What a huge win at such a huge time of the year. How can you not be pumped up right now? If you're not pumped up right now, you're not a fan of the Seattle Mariners. And that's okay. You know, a lot of you are not huge fans of the Seattle Mariners. And if I appreciate you watching, you may be related to me. Hi. But now you got a chance for a sweep. And folks, I know we're the third wildcard spot. It's time to dream bigger. It is time to dream bigger. Your goal now should be to win this division. You are 4 games back with 39 to go. That's plenty of time, and you got plenty of baseball left against those teams. It's time to dream bigger. I don't remember what Tom Hardy's character's name in Inception was, but you remember the scene where he gets the big old gun and he says, "You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling." It's time. It's time to dream for the division, folks. And we're putting all the stuff aside that if you played better in the first half, not only are you leading our in division contention, which you still are, of course, but like, who knows what we're talking about? But that doesn't matter anymore. That doesn't matter at all. We can lament on that in the offseason if things don't work out over the final 39 games. Right now, your goal should be to win this division. Win this division, get home field, at least one home series. That should be your goal. You've put yourself into position, and I cannot give enough credit to these players. These players and Scott Service who, look, this has not been my favorite Scott Service managed team, but there's no denying that he's kept this locker room together. And the players deserve credit for that too. But I get why he's so popular. I get it. A sweep here. I cannot tell you how big that would be. They're going to try. I mean, getting a sweep here in Houston, and you got a shot. It's going to be tough. Emerson Hancock's going to have to be much better than he's been in his first 2 starts, and Hunter Brown is going to have to not pitch as well as he's been up and down like most rookies have. But golly, what a chance here. And no matter what, success. But we can get greedy. We're being greedy. We're talking about winning the division now. Imagine me telling you that was going to happen after game 80. We're talking about a real chance to win the division here. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I want this team to win a World Series so badly. And winning a division gives you such a great step towards that, folks. I want this so badly for us, for the city, for my family, for everybody. I want it. I want it so bad. And you put yourself in the position to start realistically thinking about that again. I am jacked up. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Follow me on that website at Crawford_MILB, Blue Sky at Crawford Chris V. Sports sometimes next week. Sportstopia is coming. And last but certainly not least, RotoWire Fantasy Baseball Podcast, which I host every weekend. I'll be on with my buddy Ryan Boyer tomorrow. This just feels awesome. This feels amazing. I don't want to end the video because I just want to smile. Is it the mustache? How responsible is the mustache for this? Like on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going 7.5. Let's go get a sweep.